We'll be finishing this today, bacteria and fungus, both of them, and just have your books with you so that you can relate whatever I'm saying, and if any, because the things which I'm saying right now, you are studying them from your very lower classes, and I think many of the things you must be aware of out of it. So just we are detailing them little bit, and if any of the word come from that para or anything that comes from that content right now, you can ask me at the same time. Okay, so let's proceed with this. uh, First, as we have begun with little bit about vaccines last time, I think now you are aware of the concept of the vaccines, how it is being prepared and why it is being given. Last time we discussed that, and later on then food industry and that is there. So let's begin the way it is given in your textbook with the headings. Okay, so first of all, we will be seeing this with the bacteria, economic importance of bacteria, and um, okay, and we have done that how the antibiotics are being prepared. Okay, so antibiotics are nothing but the uh, chemicals. First topic about bacteria that is given is antibiotics, and that discovery of penicillin, how it was being discovered. Okay, antibiotics. And I think I must have told you that discovery of penicillin was just an accident caused, and it led to the discovery of the penicillin. I think I must have told you.
Yes, miss.
Okay, so that was the thing. How so antibiotics are nothing but the chemicals uh, produced by, in simple words, I'm giving you the definition, produced by microorganisms. Okay, if MOS I am writing, that stands for microorganisms. Chemicals produced by microorganism. It can be anything. It can be bacteria. It can be fungus. Anything can be included in this. Chemicals produced by microorganism which inhibits, okay, or inhibits or restricts, which inhibits or restricts the growth of other microorganisms. Is it clear to you? So this is the simple, the most easiest definition you can write for antibiotics. Chemicals produced by one microorganism which restricts the growth of other microorganisms are known as antibiotics. Is it clear now?
Yes, miss.
Fine. So then you have the formation of serum. As you have understood the concept of vaccine, and just taking up this up as a serum. What do you mean by actually serum? It is nothing but the uh, when you have to make the serum or develop the serum. Sometimes, like for the snake bites, this is done, and or you have to. I think you are aware of this thing, because if you are watching the Discovery or Earth Geography channels, in that you must have seen that when the poisonous snakes are being catched, at that time what people do, what those people do are, who are researching on them, they just collect the venom from that snake, just the way you collect the honey, the way we collect the other things from the insects and plants. The venom from the snake is also being collected, and that should be taken to the laboratories. There, it should be processed, it should be studied, it should be checked that which type of components are present in it, what is causing that venom to be so poisonous. Everything is, that means its chemical structure, its physical nature, everything is being studied. And then that can be divided into a very small amount, and that should be after processing and all that, it should be given, so that the antitoxoids or antitoxins can be prepared from it with the snake venoms. And these venoms are responsible for the production of so many um, chemicals like antibiotics, that is called antivenom or antitoxoids. So that can be done by preparing the serums. Is it clear to you?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Okay, fine. Okay, that is the thing. The I think you are aware of blood donations.
Yes, miss.
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
miss.
Okay, when you are donating blood, then what is happening is that blood donation is there. At that time, uh, as you are giving blood to the banks, what they do, they take your blood, and it is not stored in the same way you have given it. Okay, so what they do, they process it, and they take out RBC from it, they take out WBC from it, they separate platelets from it, and whatever is the fluid, because all these are the cellular parts of the blood, all these are the cells. So fluid portion, that is plasma or serum, that you can use, that is fluid, is being separated, and that is how it is being kept, some of it, so that whenever, sometimes it is the way that a patient requires only RBC, patient requires only WBC, at that time only that much part has to be given to the patient. That is how the serum, because after separation only the serum can be obtained. And similarly, from the at the time of snake bites or scorpio if it is harmful insects are biting, at that time also anti venoms are given, and that is prepared from the venoms only. Okay, so it is due to the separation and all that, that process is continued, and that is how it is happening. So just go through your textbook for this serum. If you have any doubts, we just ask me. Otherwise, we will proceed with the next one. Just go through that statements of the C under the heading of the serum. Done.
Yes, miss. Till now, no problem.
Okay, fine. Then let me say that as bacteria is a very simple organism, okay, and we have learned that is unicellular, uninucleated, most of them. So the one bacteria that is called Escherichia coli, E. coli, okay, it is being studied widely in the medical field. It is being studied by the industries and all that. And the one thing for the bacteria is very positive, it is very important, that is its uh, duration for division. We know that bacteria divides very fast. Then with E. coli can divide in 20 minutes. In 20 minutes the division occurs, and within 20 minutes they can be divided from 1 to 2 to 4, and that's how the number can increase. And you can imagine in 24 hours the large amount of bacteria you can obtain. And see this, that this E. coli, I will be just giving you a simple structure for this so that you can understand. It is having a very simple structure, just the way it in the rectangular form, and in that they are having their genetic material, that is DNA, present is inside it. Okay, and that is how it is being there. And the thing is, because bacteria are basically the prokaryotic organisms, this genetic material is openly present inside the cell. Okay, no definite type of nucleus is not there, so it is very easy to disturb, easy to, it is very easy to study this particular genetic material. So what happens that for the production of many of the medicines, we can exploit this bacteria. Now see that you must be aware of the disease diabetes, and I think half of the population of the earth is suffering from this. So what happens that you require the those who are suffering from diabetes, they require basically insulin, because their body cannot because as we are all, as a normal human being, our body is producing insulin, and that is balancing the proportion of sugar in our blood. But those who are suffering from diabetes, they cannot produce insulin, they require injections, they require in form of some other alternative, it is being required. Okay, so that is, there is a huge demand of the insulin in the market. So how it can be produced, how it can be done in a very smaller time, how you can fulfill the demand of the market. So what these scientists do, that some rats, they have the capability of producing insulin. Okay, so what they do, that they take out the DNA from the rats, and that DNA, suppose if this is the DNA of a rat, let me write down, this is the DNA of the rat that is being extracted from their cells, and then that is should be E. coli should be taken, and in that the, with the DNA of the bacteria, that is E. coli, this rat's DNA has to be incorporated. And once this is attached, just the way you do a patchwork, that is how it should be attached. And when this is done, then this E. coli is allowed to divide freely the way it is dividing, and then it will give you the copies of this particular DNA. Definitely the daughter cells are having both of them, that is this one and this one is being produced in a large number. Two cells are produced within 20 minutes, and lakhs of cells are produced in 24 hours. So this is how you have huge number of copy of the DNA which can produce insulin. So that means this bacteria is now have the capability of producing insulin. So that will be producing insulin in a huge amount. You can imagine that it is dividing very fast. So large number of bacteria will be producing insulin. You can extract that insulin out and provide that to the market. Okay, so that can be done, and it should be given to the market, and that is what is called genetic engineering. Okay, genetic engineering, because you are engineering this DNA, you are doing the engineering to this particular part of the bacteria. So that is what is being done, that is how insulin is being fulfilled in the market. So thanks to the bacteria E. coli, which is helping us out for this. And like this, so many other types of medicines are being experimenting, is being done, and it is we are depending on the bacteria for this. So that is how it can be done. Insulin, just go through this, and I can give you one more example for that. That is the person who are suffering from the problem, suppose they have a injury, and they don't their blood is not clotting. Basically what happens that if we get the injury somewhere, after some time the blood clotting will be done easily, and your skin will be healed automatically. That is naturally has to be done by our body. But some people who are suffering from this disease, they are called hemophilic. That disease is called hemophilia. That means no blood clotting occurs, the blood will continue to flow. So there are two types of hemophilia, hemophilia A and hemophilia B. That is being there are two types of it. And for blood clotting, there is a cycle in our body, and in that there are 12 steps, from 1 to 12 steps are there, 12 factors are acting. And for because hemophilia A happens when mm, out of these 12, eighth one is not working, and in blood clotting B, ninth one is not working. Then the cycle will break down. So through this genetic engineering method, you can prepare these factors and give to the patient who is suffering from hemophilia, so that blood clotting can occur if they get injured. Understood?
Yes, miss.
Got it? So this is how it is being done. Just keep an eye with the content of your textbook so that you can relate whatever I am saying. Just have a continuous look with your books also. Okay. Then you are preparing so many toxoids like tetanus and diphtheria. I think you are aware of this tetanus injections. I think many of us have them once in a lifetime, definitely. Have you heard about this tetanus?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Actually, diphtheria. These I will talk about tetanus because it is a common one. And what happens that when we get injured in the open environment and something like metal, we get the injury from metals, we some or on the like stones, or that is being piercing our body, and that is happening, and you have a serious injury. The At that time what we because it's an open environment, you have so many microorganisms on the surface through which you have got that injury. Okay, there may be the possibility. And due to that reason, some of suppose if there is a presence of a bacteria called as tetani, that can cause the disease called tetanus. Okay, it's a very typical type of disease. You don't have to study regarding that. So, but the thing is that tetany can cause a harmful effect in our body later on. So that is the reason we are injected with that tetanus toxoids in our body, so that our body can be immune, our body can produce the antibody, can act against that particular bacteria where once it is entering. Understood this?
Yes, miss.
Fine. Then just go through the content of it, toxoids and all that. Then we will proceed for the agriculture. Shall I move?
Yes, miss. Yes, miss.
Fine. So basically in your book, they are concentrating on nitrogen cycle. Okay, but if we say that in agriculture use of bacteria, it is very wide and very huge. Not only the nitrogen is the thing which is to be studied. There are so many things which are helped by bacteria only. Okay, so first we will see when you are talking about nitrogen cycle, then you should be aware that atmospheric nitrogen has to be fixed by the leguminous roots of the plants. And so atmospheric nitrogen and leguminous plants are taking part in this. And we many of the bacteria can come under this heading, that is rhizobium, okay, azotobacter, then you have clostridium. Fine. Rhizobium, I think you are aware of that they live symbiotically with the leguminous plants in the roots, while azotobacter and clostridium are free living. They don't require that relation like symbiosis or something like that. So that is being done, azotobacter and clostridium. Then you have nitrobacters. Nitrobacter is there, which converts nitrite into nitrate. And ammonia is converted into nitrites. Let me write down this cycle first of all. Ammonia consists of nitrogen that should be converted into nitrites, and nitrite should be converted into nitrates. So that is NH3. Okay, so that has to be converted, and this is convert done by azotobacter. Then nitrites are converted into nitrates, that is done by nitrobacter. This is being done, and that can nitrobacter, this is how the conversion of atmospheric nitrogen is being done inside the soil, so that it can be absorbed by the roots, and it is provided to the plants for the formation of proteins and all that that is happening. And when the plant is dying, when any of the living organism is dead and it is getting decomposed, then after, due to decomposition, when it is decomposed, then the nitrogen has to be given back again to the atmosphere. So that is done by pseudomonas. So many large number of bacteria are involved over here in this nitrogen cycle. You should be aware of it. And basically you don't have to study the cycle, but the thing is you should be aware that at each and every step there is the involvement of bacteria. So without bacteria, the nitrogen cannot be utilized by the living organisms like plants or animals or something like that, because plants are the basic producers of our earth, and they use the atmospheric nitrogen widely. And uh, and that nitrogen is utilized in the formation of proteins, in the formation of food in the plant, and that is made available to us. That is why we obtain the protein and other type of substances, nutrients from the plants in the form of food. So that is what is happening. This is how it is in agriculture, it is being given. And you should be very surprised that there are so many other bacterias when agriculture is done, when farming is done. Purposefully you have to introduce that type of bacteria in the soil, so that the soil can be fertile, and the conversion of inorganic sorry organic things to in the form of inorganic, and that can be done easily, so that it can be utilized by the plants or the crops which are grown in that field. Is it clear to you?
Yes, miss.
Right? I think you are aware of this nitrogen cycles and all that. So next one, we can say that in the industries, in the food industry, basically, uh, it is being used widely. If I say like industry, like in tea industry, in leather industry, it is being done. You are that the flavor of the tea is very important. I think if you are interested in food, the good quality of tea is being examined with the taste and the color of it. So that taste and color and everything is being obtained uh, only if a right type of bacteria, right type of microorganism is there in the field of where the tree is being grown. Okay, so that is very important. And the leather is obtaining its color, the texture of the leather, that the color. If you have seen the pure leather, it is not very much shiny, it is very dull in nature, and it looks like very rough thing. So that color is being pure leather, that color of the leather is obtained just because of the presence of bacteria on the leather surface. And I think you are aware that if you have the things formed from the leather on that, if you don't take a proper care of it, then you will see the after some time they show some type of fungal, or sometime they show some powdery growth on them. Have you seen it? If you don't have the leather things, that is good, because if you are using leathers, we are exploiting animals, so don't use it. But I think you are aware that how the leather looks like. Others, can you hear me? Is it very boring?
No, miss.
No, miss, no, miss.
Okay, fine. I know that this particular thing is a little bit of lecture type. You don't have to put your head in it, and just you have to go through the content and you have to listen to me, and then it will be done. So I'm very sorry for this if I'm making you feel very much bored. Okay, so just don't sleep with it with this, and just see to this that let me finish with this bacteria and fungus as fast as I can, because I don't like it too much. Okay, and so fine, let's see that in industry it is being used. Then you must be aware that food poisoning and that thing is being caused by bacteria. Botulism is a one type of disease that is being caused by bacteria. That means once you eat the old food, or the food which is being open in the environment, or something which is very uh, not good with the sometimes you must have seen that keep the things in the refrigerator, even though it changes its color, or it can change its taste also, and that is just because of the presence of bacteria inside it. They produce so many chemicals, so many gases inside in that food, so the color or sometimes the taste of that food gets changed. So that's why you should not eat them once it is being you can relate that physically, the change in the color or the change in the taste. Okay, so food poisoning is one of the reason. Botulism is a disease, and you let me tell you that botulism is caused by a bacteria. Why it is named botulism? Because those bacteria looks like a bottle, just the way a baby's milk bottle looks like. This is how they look like. That's why it is named as botulism. So this is one of the fact I may tell you. So keep you interesting with this. Okay, so that is how the botulism is the one of the disease. So you have to do so many things for the preservation. We carry out so many techniques for the preservation of, because as we are talking about industry in that food industry is one the which should be is the one having a biggest market in the society, and they should carry out many of the things, then only the food is available to us. the way you are eating. I think when you are eating that packet foods, the all these kurkure and all that is available. Have you some any time you have seen it on the backside, whatever is written with the content? Any packet food if you are eating, I'm asking.
Yes, miss.
Okay, just go through the content when you are eating something from outside. On that, it is written sometimes that preservatives added, or on some it is written that no preservatives added.
Yes, miss. Yes, miss.
Okay, fine. Have you gone through this thing? So, the preservation is one very important step for food industry, because without it, they cannot settle the market if their food is being not properly properly. So you have a expiry date, you have the manufacturing date, that is all being calculated on the basis of the preservation duration, that how long the food can remain like this, how long that food can be edible, and how long it can be consumed by the consumers. So that is what is being preservation is doing. So you have so many methods. First of all, you can have a boiling, especially many of the things, many of the liquids, many of the medicines are being boiled at some proper temperature before preservation. And I think you if you read this heading, you will come across the word autoclaving at 110 degrees Celsius, which kills spores and all that. All these types of words you will be coming across. So autoclave is nothing but the cooker, the way you use a pressure cooker. In labs also, big pressure cookers are there. They have the size of your, almost your, like just like your bed. That how big these cookers are. So they are called autoclaves. So what they do is they have a pressure, the pressure controller is there, there is a temperature controller is there, and they till 100, because I think you must be knowing that 100 degrees Celsius is a boiling point of the water. Okay, and 110, at 110, microorganisms can be killed, whatever is present inside that particular thing. So in labs it is being done. And the way your these packets of the food, the jars, the glass jars in which your jam or sauce is coming up, so all these these utensils, these glass products are also being sterilized. So this sterilization is done by boiling, by keeping them in the cooker and on the dry heat oven it is being done. And that is how it is being sterilized. And at this much high temperature, even the spores of the bacteria, spores means the bacteria which are present in form of very that means they are residing inside the bottle from so many longer duration, that can also be killed. That very resistive structure is there, that is called spores. They cannot be killed easily. Okay, but at this they have some temperature, they have 15 lbs pressure. I think you understand this term lbs. It is a unit for the pressure. Okay, so that is how it can kill, by boiling at this much of pressure and at this temperature. So this is one of the method. Then other method is salting. If you add so much of salt to a food, any of the food item, then it can be preserved for long, the way your mother does for the pickles, because she adds a lot of salt in it. Then you have cheese. In cheese also salt is present, so that can act as a preservative. So that restricts the presence of salt, restricts the growth of microorganism in the food. So that is why salts can be used, even the sugars can be used. The jam you are eating, in jam the huge amount of sugar is there, and that sugar is acting as a preservative for that particular food material. Okay, so that can be done. Then you have the method of dehydration that is being done by your mother at your home. She must be drying the things in the sunlight so that they can be preserved for the longer duration. Okay, and then you have irradiation. Irradiation, that means in industry, basically, if you are aware, because I don't know how much your generation is in touch with the agriculture, like potatoes and all that, when these crops are taken from fields to the godowns, in the godowns they are being exposed to the ultraviolet radiations, so that the potatoes can be preserved for the whole year, that is till the next season when the new stock of potatoes will arrive. Till then they should be stored. They should not get any type of infection. They should not get any type of improper structures developing on them. You must have seen that sometimes you bring the potatoes from the market, and when you're keeping them home, at home, you see the development of that growth of uh, the plant part through which the potatoes can develop, and it can the way means it is still not radiated properly. Have you seen this development of buds on it? Green buds develop sometimes on the potatoes.
Yes, miss. Yes, miss.
Have you seen that? That means those potatoes are not radiated properly, because during radiation these buds will die. So you cannot see the development of bud. But basically what happens, because in India there's no strict rules are there for regarding all these things. And farmers also think that after some time this stock will be gone out of their hand. So they will not spend money on this. But basically what should be done, that if it is these buds are growing, uh, people avoid these potatoes, they do not buy them. But if they are growing at your house, you cannot do anything. Okay, so radiation should be given properly so that the whole surface of that particular potato can be sterilized, and it can that these buds should not grow for the next time. So that is how it is being radiation has to be provided for the storage. Sure, because we need to store the potatoes till the next season give rise to the new one. Till then, for the storage, radiation is being used. There are so many other food materials also which is being passed through the radiation. I think you must have heard that the pulses and all that. In that they write that pass through the radiation for sterilization. If you have read on the packets, then you will come across it. And many of these spices, because spices should not uh, uh, lose its aroma, should not lose its texture, because spices are meant for their aroma, and it should not lose their taste. So they are passed through the radiations. They cannot be heated, they cannot be washed, so they are passed through the radiations for the sterilization. Then you have pasteurization, a very important method for milk and milk products. I think next time if you buy the packet of milk, on that it is written pasteurized at this temperature. If you have uh, read that packet of the milk, and it is pasteurization was discovered by Louis Pasteur. That's why that technique is called pasteurization. In this, what milk industry does is they do not sterilize, they do not kill all the bacteria of the milk, but it should be exposed to little bit of temperature, uh, so that it should not boil. First of all, it should be, when the milk is being packed, filled in the packet, you that industry should be aware that it should not be boiled, but the raw milk cannot be supplied. So that's why a little amount of heat is being provided so that the harmful bacteria are being killed and that can be preserved for the longer duration. Understood?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, so the if you are having milk at your home directly from the cows or the buffaloes or nearby farm, that is not pasteurized. It is completely raw. But when you are buying that packet form, that is not a raw milk. It is little bit heated for the storage. Okay, and then you have refrigeration. Definitely refrigeration that you do at your home. If you have to store many of the things, then you keep in the refrigerator that your mother does. Okay, at lower temperature microorganism cannot grow. Their division speed is slows down. That's why you have to refrigerate the things. I think in many of the things it is written that store in a cool and dry or dark place. That is how it is written. Okay, or refrigerate it after opening. It is especially the flavored milk. If you are having, then it is on the bottles it is written that if not opened, refrigeration is not required. If opened, then keep in the refrigerator for these many hours. If you read all these things, you will get the idea from your daily life only. Okay, so that is how it can be done. Then yeah, you can use the strong concentration of many of the chemicals. Basically if we go for salts or sugars or something like that can be used, or chemicals like sodium benzoate and all these things, NaCl, sodium benzoate, NaOH, hydroxide are being utilized by the food industry to preserve the food. And to preservation is done nothing but they just restrict the growth of microorganisms so that food should not be spoiled. Is it clear to you?
Yes, Miss.
Fine. For rest of the others, you can also speak out. Other students?
Yes, miss, it is clear.
Clear? Okay. Fine. Then we will go for fungus. And the one favorite one fungus, that is penicillin, through which only you got the idea of antibiotics. Scientists discovered antibiotics just because of the fungus that is called penicillin, and it is very much useful. Another fungus, it is being the fungus which was the one which lead to the production of antibiotics. Then you have a yeast, and I think you are aware that yeast is used widely in the food and the baking industry. Baking industry, it is being used because yeast has the capability of producing alcohol. It has the ability of the fermentation. It can ferment the things easily. So if we talk about cheese, if we talk about the things made from the milk and milk products, yeast is the thing, like breads and all that. All of them are utilizing yeast. And if you go to the bakery nearby your house and you will if you ask them that show me the yeast you are using, they will show you a slab just like a paneer or a cheese. The cube must be there, and those types of cubes are being it is very it is present in the form of powder also sometimes. And in if you go to the bakeries, it is present in the form of that the way the paneer is seen, the way that is how cheese slab is seen, that is how it is being uh, observed. And that is how yeast can be considered. If you go to, if you ask the bakery people, they will show you. If you have not seen it, just ask them, they will not deny. Okay, so just ask them to show you the yeast. And I think in laboratories you must have seen under the slide the type of cells yeast is there. Okay, so penicillin, let me talk about penicillin first of all. that this penicillin is definitely the fungus which helped in the production of antibiotics. But these fungus are very notorious. They are very naughty, and they are so comfortable with the temperature. They are so comfortable with the things that they will grow easily anywhere at any time. uh, if you have seen sometimes like fruits like oranges or lemons, if they are very old, if you keep them for a longer duration, and what happens on that, you can see sometimes bluish or greenish uh, cottony growth, like the way the cotton is being sticking to the surface. That is how you can see. So if blue type of growth you can see, then that is definitely caused by the penicillium. And greenish, if you see, that is due to the aspergillus. These are all the fungus which are very notorious and very naughty in spoiling the food. So that is why it is considered harmful also. See, penicillium produce penicillin, and that penicillin can be used as antibiotics. But the thing is that penicillium as a fungus is not the good thing. It creates a lot of nuisance in the food industry. So that is how this particular fungus, even if you keep the roti or a bread for a longer duration, on that also you can see the development of fungus. And most of the time it is a penicillium. Okay, so that is how it can be observed. Then I think you must have seen that the disease on the television, that one brand is coming, that is Ringard. The tube is coming in the market, and that disease is caused by ringworm. Okay, and that is a fungus which causes the disease on the skin. That means that fungus starts developing on your skin, and in the form of ring the infection, that have a typical way to show its infection. That means your skin will show a ring like patches, and that ring patches are being caused by ringworms. And they this is an antibiotic which is acting against this particular fungus, and that is why this particular tube should be applied, and that is how it is being utilized. So fungus is a nuisance over on your skin also. And you should be very much uh, alert, because if you are not having a proper bath, if you are not washing your hairs, and if you are lazy with this, then there may be the possibility that fungus may be growing on your skin. And sometimes you think in the hairs, you think it's a dandruff. It's not a dandruff, it's because of the fungal growth. The scalp is getting so much dried, and all that is happening. So just be aware and be alert when you are bit lazy with the bathing. One day will be fine, but not more than that. It's good to have a bath. Okay, so definitely antibiotics we have seen. There are so many antibiotics are being produced. Then you have very interesting, that is wine. If I say wine is being cultivated, wine is being prepared, and special type of fungus are helping out for the production of wine. And if you just watch out on the Discovery channels and on that, they will show you vineyards and all that. So in that you will see that wine is very much important about its color, its taste, its texture is very important for the good uh, brand. It is very important for good type of wine. This is very important. You must have heard about lot of types also, red wine and all that, white wine. You must have, because in so many dishes it is being used widely. If you have an interest in eating Italian and all that, in that wine is being utilized as one of the ingredients in a food. So that wine is very important, and that wine is prepared with the help of the fungus only, with a special type of fungus is being grown, and that can give a proper texture, proper color, and a proper taste to the wine. And that type of wine can be sold in a very costly uh, in a very cost effective, it can work for the industry. Understood this?
Yes, miss.
Okay, fine. Then you have cheese. Cheese is definitely produced by fungus. I think if you are, all these things are not being taught theoretically. You can see all these things on a television. They are most of the time they show all these things, that how cheese is being processed, that that milk has to be converted into curd, then curd has to be water and curd is being separated, then curd turns into a solid one, then this solid curd is infected, or it is given a special type of fungus, and due to that fungus, after keeping this curd for so many years, I think if you see this, that 600 years old cheese is being utilized basically in the countries like Italy or Spain or somewhere. So, because they are doing this production very widely, so that much important the fungus for them is. That special type of fungus should be utilized, and that should be introduced in that curd, so that the cheese can obtain its aroma, obtain the taste, whatever is being required. And you can imagine that till 600 years it is being kept, and that is how that fungus will give it a taste and the texture and all that. So that can also be done. And the older the cheese, the most costlier it be. That similarly for the beverages, that is wine and all that, the older it will be, older wine is the costlier one. So that is the important thing these microorganisms are doing. Um, so if you want to earn lot of money, then these are the two industries you can enter. Definitely in the beginning you have a little bit of expenditure, but once you are successful, once you are in it properly, then you can earn lot of money and you can turn billionaire or millionaire, everything. Okay, then cultivation of mushrooms. Okay, that mushroom, a special type of mushrooms required, because mushroom is the thing, is basically normal people don't eat mushroom. Let me tell you this very clearly. They don't find it interesting, they don't find it good, and they don't find it tasty even. But the people who are belonging to somewhat we call a high society, or in 5-star hotels or 7-star hotels, mushroom is the thing which is being asked as a delicacy, and it is being like it's like a royalty, and it's very costly in that situation. So it is being cultivated, and this cultivation have so many steps in it, and in that step you will come across the word called spawning and all that. So what is happening, that soil is mixed with a special type of fungus, so that it can give rise to the mushroom, which should have a proper look, proper texture, proper color, and proper growth when it is developing. And there are so many type of mushrooms, like white button agaricus and paddy mushrooms. All these are available in the market. Uh, and you are being utilized by the hotels industry and all that, so that's why they are little bit costly. And definitely fertilizers and manures are being prepared by microorganism. I think you are aware that for the decomposition of the dead plant, dead animals and dead things, only the microorganism will help us out. And when you just cover them under the soil, they will convert themselves into a natural fertilizer, and that can be utilized widely for the agriculture. So that is what the thing about the fungus is. Anything which is being left or you have not understood or you have any questions or queries, you can ask. Anything to be asked?
No, miss, no questions.
Okay, fine, Ishan. Anybody else? I can see the names Apurva, Kriti Deep, and Supratim.
No, miss. No, miss. Let's continue, miss. Miss, have noted it
Okay,
down.
okay, fine. That's good thing. Then Ahan. Okay, Ahan. I don't know. I'm pronouncing your names correctly or not, but I'm trying my best while reading
Yes,
the spellings. Okay. So the nice name, Supratim. Your name is too nice. Okay, fine. So that's what I want to say regarding economic importance. Because just see to it that whatever you are reading in this chapter, you can see that either with the observation around you, because everything is available around your in your house, or if you go in little bit, if you visit a market at that time, if you read the content. Okay, so that is how you can observe the things. And little bit of it, the TV is the one, these channels will give you the knowledge about them, if you are interested in knowing about it, and like food and all that. It will give you a better information and the latest technologies, how they are working on it. So it's a good thing, good experience if you want to see, and if you are seeing your future as your career in this industries and all that, then you should definitely go for it. I think if I have given chance, when I was like you, I will definitely must have proceeded for food industry, but fine. The thing is the history for me. Okay. So if you are seeing your career in this chapter will play a very important part. I think I should make you aware of the career options also, because uh, that is the thing why you are studying, to earn the money. Am I right?
yes, miss.
Okay, so this is one of the very important, because people will talk about MBBS, people will talk about engineering, people will talk about pharmaceuticals and all that, but food industry will nobody will talk about. But you should, that's a very good option, you should be aware of. Even wine industry. Now, see, going in that industry is nothing wrong. Going in beverages is not a wrong. That doesn't mean that you are a drunken people. Okay, you are not categorized like that, but that is the place where you can earn a lot of money. Okay, anything else?
No, miss, no doubts, miss.
No, no, I'm not talking about doubts. Any questions? Anything? Fine. So we will be winding off this chapter here only, and next time we will proceed with the chapter that is called nutrition. Okay. I think nutrition is the one which will be starting in the next class.
Yes, Miss. Nutrition.
Okay, so nutrition we will be beginning. That will be followed by digestive system, then skeleton system. Then you have respiratory, then skin and all that we will be continuing. And just do one thing, kids. When you right now your exams must be there, but after the exams are completed, at the end of this thing, that is waste generation and management, health organization, aids to health, disease cause and control, the and hygiene, from five, all these five chapters, whenever you are free, you have time and you feel like reading, just go through these chapters, because these chapters are the way where once you read you will come across the things easily. Okay.
Yes, Miss.
Okay, now I want to ask you that, because it's a ICSE board, is there any chapter which is being omitted from your syllabus?
Yes, Miss. In the final term, we are only having. Miss, wait, Miss.
Yeah, I'm getting.
Miss, now in midterm we are having 8 chapters, but in final term we are having total 12 chapters. And Miss in 5 kingdom classification has been omitted, and
Okay.
health and Miss the part unit 6 health and hygiene, Miss all the Miss chapters are omitted, Miss.
Okay, that means last five chapters. Okay.
Yes, Miss, last 5 chapters are omitted.
Okay. Omitted. So I know that by why it is omitted. That's why I am asking. So we will be concentrating on these nutrition, digestive, and skeletal, respiratory, skin first. And if time permits, I will discuss these omitted chapters also after some time.
Yes, Miss.
Okay. But next time we will be continuing with the nutrition part. Got it?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, fine. Rest of the others, is it okay? I think the boy who is talking to me is from St. Patrick's. Others, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
miss.
The boy, are you all okay with this?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Okay, so good. So see to this, and next time we will start again. Okay, have a good day.
Thank you, Miss.
Yeah.
Thank you, miss.